My foster daughter told the authorities that my 12-year-old daughter was taking illicit substances in school, but they found out that it was only Skittles and now my daughter is traumatized. I have been looking after my foster daughter Mary for over a year, ever since her parents overdosed on illicit substances. I also have a biological daughter Lila, 12. Mary and Lila mostly get along, although there have been some minor arguments. A few weeks ago, the police came to Lila's school. Someone had sent an anonymous message to the school saying that Lila was in possession of illicit substances. After searching through her phone, locker, and bags, they realized that the illicit substances in question were Skittles that Lila had lying around in her bag, accidentally ripping open the packaging. Lila was terrified of the police and was traumatized by the incident. She's a very shy, quiet girl who had a panic attack at the thought of being sent to prison. While they wouldn't reveal who told on her, Lila suspected that it was Mary since she was the only one who could have seen the Skittles in her bag. Mary denied this at first, but eventually, she snapped under pressure and admitted it. She said she made a mistake and was scared that Lila would overdose like her parents. I know that Mary has trauma related to substances, but that's not an excuse. I've made it very clear that she can come talk to me about anything, even if it involves Lila, and yet she went to the school instead of telling me first. Mary said that she only went to the school in case I was biased towards Lila. She knew full well the legal ramifications of her actions. Both of them could have potentially been removed from my care. I can't help but think her intentions are malicious. Skittles look absolutely nothing like illicit substances. She didn't even talk to me or Lila about it. She just went straight to the authorities. So I decided to ground her, stop her allowance, increase her chores, and take away her electronics for the entire summer. She's still upset with me for this, saying I went too far and I was punishing her for having trauma and trying to do the right thing. But I feel like I have a duty to teach her that it's not okay to potentially get our entire family into legal trouble over a misunderstanding. Edit. The reason I thought she had malicious intentions was because the week before, Mary coincidentally started a large argument with Lila for hanging out with Mary's crush. Lila eats candy all the time, especially Skittles, and Mary knows that Skittles are her favorite. Update. I realized my mistake. I wasn't taking into account the immense amount of trauma that Mary had gone through at such a young age and the effect it had on her actions. I had a tough, but necessary conversation with both Lila and Mary. We had a heart-to-heart so that both girls could hear from each other's perspectives. What had happened was that Mary found out that Lila had been hanging out with a boy that Lila knew was Mary's crush. This was also the first anniversary of Mary's parents' overdose, and she confessed that her grief coupled with what she interpreted as Lila's betrayal influenced what happened the following week. Mary maintains that she'd mistaken the candy for illicit substances, but she owned up to the fact that she'd notified the teachers, not only because she was concerned for Lila's safety, but because she believed that it wasn't fair for Lila to get away unpunished for having illicit substances, after everything that had happened to Mary's parents. I know I should have been angry at Mary. I've been informed that traumatized children can lose their common sense after being exposed to triggers. I assume this applies even more when it occurs around the anniversary of their trauma, and this can lead them to make decisions that may sound outlandish in any other circumstances, decisions such as mistaking candy for illicit substances. Mary has had bad experiences in foster homes before. Several years before her parents' overdose, she was placed in foster care for the first time, before being reunited with her parents. She was in 3 different foster families and, in all of them, her foster parents favored their biological children, and they punished Mary if she told them about their bio children misbehaving. She was terrified that I would do the same, which is why she didn't come to me first. Mary acted out of pain, and I acted out of frustration without even hearing her side of the story. I lifted Mary's punishment. At that point, we still had nearly 3 weeks of summer break left. Lila has forgiven Mary, and we decided to put this incident behind us. Being a foster parent can be challenging, but I will be doing everything I can to learn from this situation and be a better mother moving forward.